These things are called view controllers, these big squares. So every time I'm looking at an app in the store, I always think about them in terms of like what they're called in code. So this, watch, and so I take this flower, where is it? Flower shift, dang it. Control click. Okay, and they call segues, and we'll just say show. Okay, and then we'll be like, we'll pretend like this is like the game. We'll say, we'll put buttons here to guess the animal or something, just to, so you can see it's a totally different screen.
So
if you have questions, ask.
Yeah, so wouldn't you have to do the segue thing on right on, so you have to have all the game categories lead to start?
Oh, yeah, maybe that. Well, no, all the game categories are going to make this thing get active.
Yeah.
So this is going to be grayed out first, and when they choose one, you can make it get active.
Yeah.
And so what you'll want to do is have some sort of logic that says,
it will start up one.
yeah, whenever this gets selected, this button has to activate.
Yeah.
So this is actually kind of an interesting concept. I'll try to talk briefly on this and explain it. When you're writing applications in a GUI, you have a notion of something called an event. That's like your word of the day. If I were to teach this, I'd have you write down event, because that's what you're dealing with here. All this stuff is event based. When I click this button, something happens and an event is fired. So what happens is that a button click event is fired to like the system, like your phone. So if I were to touch a thing, what's happening in that program is that there's an event that says a button was clicked, and it also knows which button was clicked, and then something else is listening for that, and it knows, and it's like, oh, I know that a button fired, I can do something. And so that's what's happening here, is that this is getting fired. We haven't wired things up so that this knows how to listen for that event yet, but we could, but you would do that all through the code on the back end.
Wait, so does that mean that we'd have like 3 different areas that it would go to?
Yeah, you would actually, see, you wouldn't do this in the GUI. You'd actually do that via the code. You're actually in the code. So if I was looking at, I won't spend too much time digging in the code, but if you were to like look at, I can do this, if I remember it up. So you have this code here. And then you actually can point to, actually I will do one, so I do this, right? So I'm going to insert an action, and I'm going to be like button clicked, right? And then I'm going to say, I'm going to do a log or something. I can't remember how to do this in Swift. Apparently I can do it that way. Let's see. I was clicked. I think I can just do that. So I'm going to run this. Yep, enable developer modes. Now you're about to become big time. So we're going to actually run this in what's called the simulator. And what the simulator is, it's a fake iPhone that shows up on your screen.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to do is not build it onto this iPhone 6 Plus, because it's ginormous. We're going to actually build it onto, you can choose what you want to build it onto.
Oh yeah, so iPad,
Like an iPhone 5, yeah. 5S. Alright. There we go, it's a little more sensible to deal with.
Yeah. It's like the new iPad.
So since the first time you've run it, it's got to actually turn on the virtual machine. So it's like it's turning on an actual phone.
Yeah.
I mean, in every respect, it basically is a phone. So the first screen should come up here soon. There it is. So Animal Cram. Things are kind of out in a weird place right now because I haven't done anything right. But watch. I'm going to move this next to it. And I'm going to turn on what's called the console, because I just want to show you how events work, right? So when I click on this, the code that I wrote, what do you think you're going to see here?
I was clicked.
Yeah, so check it. See?
Oh,
So every time you click it, it'll let you know that that one's clicked. Now when I click this, what do you think's going to happen?
Nothing.
Exactly, right? Because we haven't wired it up
Yeah.
yet. And so that's what you do. You wire these things up. If I were going to wire this up. And in fact, I could wire it up. So check this. I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I just did an action.
So what is the
But if you
code
make
for
something
wiring up?
Outlook, here you have to control. And then you drag it in there. And then it'll tell you. An outlet means that it's going to, you can, from the code, make it do stuff.
Yeah.
An action is basically the inside of that, which is when you do something to it, it tells your code something.
To do something.
So I'm going to do an outlet that says, we'll call it button start game, right? And so here's what's kind of cool is that, whoa, yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to actually say button start game dot text label. I forgot what it is. Title label. Text equals yo. So, what do you think is going to happen when I click on that button?
It'll say yo.
What's going to say yo?
The title label.
And where's the title label?
Button start game.
Okay, and so what's gonna say yo? Tell me.
Start quiz.
It's gonna turn to yo, right? Let's check it. I gotta do something else because we couldn't see everything. I have to actually use what's called constraints. And do that because that'll make everything fit the right way.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that you get this because I think that you're gonna be able to. It's still kind of ugly, but but watch. Flat out, see?
Yo.
It changed the button. So that's what happened was an event was fired, that a button was clicked, and this thing, we wired it up so this thing would listen for that event, right? And so we wired it up so that that thing listened for the event. So when that action got called, we can make another thing. Yeah, exactly.
So
We
how
can make
cool would
another
it be
thing.
when they click the right button?
So
Up
now-
comes a yes, nice job, or congrats.
Is it wrong when they say nope?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So did you see this? So to your point, we haven't gotten to that part. So when I click this actual button, it will go to the next screen.
Oh,
See,
sweet.
because I made that segue there. That's what I wired this. So,
You only to
so that's Xcode. It gets a little. There are a lot of good tutorial videos on how to do like a test app. Hold on. There's actually a class in the App Store, but it's a pretty long running class. There's some good ones on